18 and up Accord dashboard removal. First thing you're gonna do is pop off these sides, both sides. This whole thing then will pop off as well. This trim right here first. Use a tool, clip puller, and then the vent will pop out. See the clips? Pulls out. It's all one piece. Go to the other side. You want to pry right here. And you kind of wiggle this whole thing, and they all loosen up. Pry a little bit down here, and you got the whole thing out. Disconnect your connectors. After you get all the connectors, there is a little hose here you gotta pull out. Don't forget to put it back in. It just slips on over this little tube. There it is. Everything's unplugged. Clip puller, of course, and pry off this other side. That clip there, you need the puller, and there's also a screw at the bottom right here. You want to pry this off. See the clip there and the plug, and then pry off the vent, and then this trim. All right, 2 Phillips screws to remove this trim for the cluster. All right, release the lever. You can pull this down and up, and we're going to pry this up. Hit that like button, boys. We're going really fast on this one. Once you got those 2 Phillips screws removed, you just pull. It's going to take off the trim, and you get the whole thing out. 2 screws for the cluster. You can see one right there. The other one on the other side, Phillips. Also 1 more Phillips up there. I already pulled it. You can then lay the cluster like this, flip it, hit the plugs, pull it out. The radio, there's 2 screws, one right there, another one on the other side, 2 Phillips. And there they are, the radio screws. Now you can just pry up like that, get the radio out, and clips in the back, pry it up. All right, this one's a little tricky. At the bottom, you push the tab in right here, and that will release it, the one at the bottom. Here's a replacement dash, so you can see by releasing these screws here, we'll be able to remove the whole upper piece of the dashboard to replace the airbag module, replace this whole piece right here. So we're gonna hit these screws, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take this apart. There's a black Phillips, there's the other one behind it. These 2 right here. Right there, the glove box. I'm gonna remove that, and you see the white screw over there. All right, you're gonna pry this one off with your clip puller. There's 2 screws at the bottom of the glove box, one on each side Phillips, and then the whole thing will just drop like that. Okay, under the glove box, there's 2 10mm right here, 1, 2, and I believe this one could be a 12 or a 13. And that screw for the airbag is a 12mm. Under the dash, look at that. See if you can see that. 2 Phillips screws right there. See that wire going down there? All right, 2 screws, one here, one on the other side. Then you got to pry these 2 side things off, side trims. We're going to remove this. Use your clip puller, you pry up, and you pull the whole thing up. By the way, guys, your airbag module, SRS module, is right there. So, video coming on this as well. All right, you got to move this shifter down so you can have space to move this, get this out the way. The reason we got to pull this stuff out is because there are actually 2 more screws right behind here, hidden behind here, and this whole thing needs to move out of the way so you can release those 2 screws that's holding the dashboard on. All right, so you got 2 screws, one right here and one right there. Got to remove that. That's going to loosen this on both sides. Now you can pull this away, and there's one of the hidden screws, and the other hidden screw is right there. I removed it already. Now you got to take off this trim. There's a 8mm bolt on each side. As you can see, you pop this cover off. There's the 8mm trim, and you can pull this off. After you remove that, 1 screw on this side, and you got to get it on the other side as well after you remove that trim. Now the whole dashboard is completely free. You pull it out and put in your replacement. There's 1 more clip under here, guys. It's right here. You got to use your clip puller, and then you got to disconnect this orange connector for your airbag, and it's completely free at that point. Not so fast, guys. You got to pry this up right here, the sensor, and then you can unplug it. That's what's going to hold you back. And there you have it, boys. It's out. So that's the old dash. Very light, by the way. You can pick it up with 1 hand. And now you just reverse the steps to put in your replacement. Like and subscribe, man.